Hello, ladies. How
Hello.
are we doing today?
Good.
Good, good, good. Are y'all
Great,
ready for
great,
today's
great.
topic?
We are
Yeah. So
as ready
today,
as we're gonna be.
so today's topic is going to be about having friends of the opposite sex while you're in a relationship or married. What do you guys? What are your guys' take on that?
Well, I know that there's some people in this world who do not feel comfortable with their partners having friendships with people of the opposite sex, but that is something that I don't have an issue with. So it'll be interesting to kind of have a conversation to see where you ladies fall on the spectrum.
Well, all right, Lorraine. What is your take?
Yeah. So I think that everybody's relationship is different. And so sometimes what one couple thinks is okay, another may not.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? And what made you choose this topic?
I just thought that it was an interesting topic to talk about because that is something that does tend to come up in relationships, and it might not come up right in the beginning, but eventually, when feelings are involved, and certain people may not be around like friends as often, and so it could become an issue. I definitely think that it should be okay to have friends of the opposite sex. I think that sometimes having a friend that is the opposite sex, you can kind of get an idea of the way they think. And I don't think that all the time, it all depends on the person. And I think that, again, like I said, you have to discuss that with your partner. And, there's a lot of things that come into play with it, like trust, how well you know this friend, if lines were ever crossed, all of those things come into play. But at the end of the day, you have to make the decision for yourself with your partner, and sometimes it's not even that cut and dry.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of different scenarios and that can play a part. But I
Yeah.
definitely,
And I can definitely agree on that. It's not a black and white thing. It all depends on, again, the couple, but also on the type of relationship, and whether or not there is any flirtation or
mhm,
attraction, and that might be a deal breaker. But
yeah,
as far as having a friendship where it's just like, this is like my big sister or my big brother or a mentor, then that's kind of different. Whereas like an ex or anything where there were romantic feelings,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
whole nother situation. So
That is
yeah,
it.
so it depends.
Yeah. And speaking of, you said if there was an attraction. What if you don't know that there's an attraction, and your
Well,
partner feels that there's an attraction? Maybe not from you to the person, but from the person to you.
well, then that's where it comes to boundaries. Like, if you're an attractive person and people are attracted to you, like, it's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't say that you can't be friends with other people, but that's where the boundaries come in. Now, if I'm friends with a male and they're attracted to me, but I'm not attracted to them, and then they're saying things like that's inappropriate or disrespectful to my relationship, then that's going to be an issue. So you can have an attraction, you can find me attractive, but keep that to yourself and know that if you cross a boundary, then I'm not even going to wait for my husband to say I'm not comfortable with that
Mhm.
relationship. Like, that's going to be something that I'm going to address, where it doesn't even get to the point of my husband being like, you know what, I'm uncomfortable with this relationship. So having friends, it may not be something your partner is comfortable with, but if they are comfortable, I think it's important for you as the person to know when to say this is not a good friendship, because you want more than what
Mhm.
I expect out of this relationship as friends. So
Mhm.
I think that that's important.
Right. So how would you handle a situation? Let's say you have a friend that's a male, and
Mhm.
you guys were friends for years, never crossed the line, never been any type of romantic feelings. You guys just have known each other for a substantial amount of time. I would say like 5 years plus.
Mhm.
And then you start a new relationship, and the person that you're with does not want you to have any friends of the opposite sex.
Well, then that would be a conversation. Like, I am not going to cut off friendships with other people just because the new person that I'm in a relationship feels that they're not comfortable with that situation. If you are going to be in a relationship with me, then you're going to have to trust me as a person. And if you don't have that trust, then this is not a relationship that I want to be in, because there's going to be coworkers, there's going to be other people that I talk to, people that I grew up with that you may not know. And if you can't trust that I'm going to respect our relationship and not cross the line and not have a friendship with anyone that I feel crossed those lines, then the relationship isn't going to work. Now, it is not going to automatically be a red flag, like I don't want to deal with you, but it'll be a conversation. But if it becomes a problem and continually become a problem, then the relationship just wouldn't work.
Same question to you, Lauren.
It's interesting because for me, I feel like sometimes what speaks louder is your concern about your own ability to be in a platonic relationship with the opposite sex. And so you imposing your inabilities on me is unfair, especially for someone that was around before you. I think that it's important that people, and it's learned behavior, right? I know that I didn't go into really any of my relationships in a place where I could be like, I'm so confident that I'm not worried about anybody or anything. But it's important for you to at some point check yourself and realize that this is something in you and not the actual other person, especially if they've given you no reason to believe that there's something to worry about.
I agree. I agree 100%. So it sounds to me that to have that, you have to have trust, communication, you have to check your own insecurities, and you know, and be able to be open about it and honest. And so
yeah, so I have a question for you, Dika, because you're the cutoff queen. Red flags are a deal breaker for you. So how would you handle a situation if you had friends, which you do have friends of the opposite sex, and you're dating someone who feels like, you know what, I don't want you to have friends that are not female? Like how would you approach that situation, being that this person is new and you're just starting to getting to know them?
So I don't think that I would just immediately cut them off. Like you said, it would be a conversation, like to find out what exactly is the issue. Like I wouldn't have someone that as a friend that was making advances at me, and I know that my partner is not even comfortable with me having that friendship. But if I have a friendship that I've had for years before you, I feel like unless there's a really good reason, like that's something that you're gonna have to be able to say, ask yourself, are you able to deal with that? Because I'm not gonna cut off my friends, and that's just not, it's not gonna happen. If it was a reason and I could understand that reason, then you know that's something that maybe kind of taking some space from that person or whatever. But I mean, not even taking space. If there was a reason that I could be like, yeah, I understand. If I was in that situation, I would feel the same way. Then that was somebody that I probably would have to not speak to as often. But I am one that I am okay with the person that I'm with having female friends. Especially if it's someone that has been around for a long time. I say we can all be friends. You know, we can all go out together, hang out together, all of that good stuff. I don't have a problem with it. The only time that I would have a problem with it is if there's boundaries being crossed, or I feel like this person is trying to compete as if they're the person that we're like, don't try to compete with me, and things like that. Like if you play your part, you know the boundaries that you shouldn't be crossing. I don't have a problem with it at all.
So how would you handle a situation if you were in a relationship? Let's say it was a long-term, not a new relationship, someone you've been with for a while and you guys are kind of making progress to go to that next level in a relationship, and then they have a friend that you didn't know about and you feel like there are boundaries being crossed, or that female feels like you're her competition and the person you're with doesn't check it.
So I would immediately address it with my partner and tell them my concerns. And from there, I would expect that they're going to check that and kind of back away from that person. And if that's not being done, then you're not the person for me. And that's that. So if that's a cutoff, being a cutoff queen, then that's absolutely right. Because I would do it for you. So I would expect that you do it for me. And you wouldn't even, like, I feel like as soon as I felt like this person is doing a bit too much, like you said, that's something that I would address immediately before it becomes an issue in my relationship. So that would be addressed immediately. So I would expect that you're going to do the same thing for me. But if you didn't address it before and I brought it to your attention and then you still didn't address it, it's not going to work. Or maybe I may start having more friends too and then let you see what it feels like.
Okay. So what are some boundaries that you think would cause you to not be comfortable with your partner having a relationship with a female?
Is that me or Lauren?
To either one of y'all.
One thing is calling late.
What's
Like
late?
2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. Why are you calling at this time?
So midnight and 11 o'clock is okay?
It depends. If it's a weekend, that's fine. But a weekday, no. What are you calling here so late for? Or I mean, just like if we all are out together and I feel like I won't even say like, okay, so I can give a situation. I went on a trip before with somebody that I was in a relationship with, and it was mixed. It was a lot of guys, it was a lot of girls. And the one girl, every time I looked, she was just staring at me. And that kind of made me feel like, is this just a friend or is it somebody that you had more with? And so that kind of stuff kind of like, why does she keep staring at me? And when I tell you, like, it was not like just once in a while I look, like staring.
Maybe she thought you were beautiful.
That's great. Then tell me that and stop looking at me.
Okay.
But no, I felt like I was just being watched too much. And I felt like, it made me feel uncomfortable. And, I did bring it to his attention. And he told me, he was like, she does that all the time to everybody. That's why a lot of times they don't even want to bring her on a trip. So, that was understood. And it was clarified that there was never anything going on in any capacity. So it was just like, all right. So that was fine. Like,
yeah.
And then eventually over time, we actually became closer. So, yeah.
What about you, Lauren? What are some of the boundaries that you wouldn't want crossed?
I think I agree with the telephone call situation. I think that 11 and 12 p.m. is lenient. I don't care if after 8 o'clock, call 911. There's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it depends because I could think of a couple of female friends that I would be okay. Yeah, if y'all were in the same vicinity and everybody had to have lunch and y'all went to lunch together, I would be okay with that. There's just some people you don't worry about. I feel like the more open communication there is about the person, the better I would feel about most things. But yeah, I could think of some instances where the vibe was just wrong. And people were introduced and it was craziness. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So I think that for me, it would be important to kind of get a vibe check of the actual person. And people who are inappropriate don't have to be told not to do inappropriate things. So with a friend that's really a friend, I mean, if they call at midnight, somebody must have died. People with sense just have sense and they don't do things that are senseless. So yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned going to lunch. If your husband went to lunch with coworkers, would you be comfortable with it being a one-on-one, or is it a group setting you're comfortable with, or what is okay in your eyes?
I mean, what's the difference between them going to lunch and them sitting in the lunchroom together? I don't know. It's just sure. Is this a lunch I'm aware of happening ahead of time? If they went to the convenience store together because they both had lunch at the same time, I think it's hard. There's so many other factors to me that are important before I can say something definitive. It's hard to really answer that. Yeah.
Okay. So I do have another question for you guys. Would you be okay with your partner's coworker making them food?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No, I don't want his mother to make him food. What are we talking about? No.
That to me is crossing the line. Because what are you making him lunch for?
Unless she is the agency's grandmother and she made everybody lunch.
Exactly. That's the only way. If it's for everybody, but not just you coming in with a Tupperware bowl for just him. Nah, not at all. Not at all.
With your old spaghetti stains in it, you dirty. I can't. We not eating nothing, Kim. Nope.
So that's
for no occasion. I don't no birthday, nothing.
Yeah.
Don't just bake no cookies for no birthday.
Yeah.
None of that. Thank you.
Another thing that I think is crossing the line is how people be like my work wife or my work husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, you don't have a work wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to me crossing the line because
she could probably just be your real wife.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you only need one.
Yeah.
I agree. There's a lot of people that do that, and I just I don't say anything because it's not my business, but I just be like, Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with that at
Yeah,
all.
I don't even know what that means. Like, what makes this person your work wife or your work husband? Like, what?
Doing stuff like that. They bringing you lunch in a Tupperware bowl just for
Yeah,
you. Y'all going to lunch together all the time. Like, no,
they're helping you clean your face. Oh, you got something? Come here.
yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, I think certain things is just like I mean, and then at the end of the day, I feel like you should always put yourself in that person's shoes. If you wouldn't like that being done to you, then you don't do it. As simple as that.
I mean, yeah, that is like common courtesy.
Yes, it
But what
is.
I'm finding is that people lack it. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
especially when they know that you would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
So one thing that someone had mentioned to me before, which was another way to look at things, is just like when we say treat me the way you want to be treated, sometimes it's not even like that. Sometimes it's just treat me the way I want to be treated. Because
Right.
people may not think that that is an issue. Like somebody may be comfortable enough where it's just like, that wouldn't even bother me. So don't even think about how you would feel in that situation. If you know I'm not going to like it, then don't do it.
Exactly.
We're two different people. We are okay with two different things. So think about if you know your partner well enough, and if that's going to be an issue for your partner, just don't do it. Don't do it. And when you're with someone, they know what you're going to be okay with and what you're not going to be okay with.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
I had a situation before with the ex-husband where he went to lunch with a girl at his job, and I had no idea about it. This was clearly somebody that was new because this was a new job. So, you know, it was just something that was pretty much behind my back. But it's like, I don't expect you to call me anytime you go on a lunch with somebody. But the way I found out is how I knew that it was clearly more to it than just a friendship. They had to have some type of attraction to each other because his phone was connected to his iPad or his tablet. And when he took pictures, it was coming to the iPad. And I kept hearing like little dings. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I went and looked. And why are you in a restaurant taking pictures of her across the table?
yeah.
Yeah. So clearly you're not to be trusted. Because what do you need pictures for? If it's just a friend and y'all just going to lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
People would like to make it easy for you to have to put your hands and feet on them.
Yeah, right. But you know, and that was something that I wasn't going to leave to him to address because he wasn't going to do anything. So I paid a visit to the job and I just asked the girl about, you know, if they were seeing each other or whatever. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, I just wanted to ask because he did send pictures and I thought that was inappropriate or whatever. And she commenced to tell me that he told her that I was crazy. So you knew about me. And you still went out with him or whatever. But I said, look, I don't know what he told you. He's gonna lie, just like he lied to me. But I just said, you know, I feel like the relationship that you guys are starting up, I feel like it's inappropriate, and I would like it to stop. And I told him the same thing, and I left it at that.
Okay. Yeah. And was that the one that you allegedly?
Allegedly.
It wasn't alleged.
I was
allegedly.
I got the call before it went down. It was not alleged.
Putting a place together.
Yeah, at the same damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But needless to say, yeah, that was the start to an end.
Yeah. Do you feel like past relationships where there has been infidelity affects your comfort with your partner?
For me, it doesn't.
Is it more of this being secretive, not being
yeah, if you're being secretive, then that's going to make me feel like something more is going on. But if you're open about it, like even after that relationship, I am still not opposed to having friends of the opposite sex. As long as you're honest about it, if you know, it'll be even better if I meet them and we could all hang out, like, you know, like that kind of thing. But if it has to be on the low or just doing stuff behind my back, then that's where the issue comes in. And so, and so again, and the person that did that would have had a heart attack if I hung out with any guys, you know. So that leads me to believe that, like, if you don't like me having a friendship with someone of the opposite sex, you might be insecure. It could be something from a past, you know, thing. But don't bring that in on me. I am a completely different person. I didn't, you know, lie to you or cheat on you. So don't bring that into our relationship. And sometimes it also can make you feel like what are you doing that you trying to project that on me? Because there's no reason that women and men can't have friendships of the opposite sex. Like you should have some type of self-control.
Yeah.
You should have like have some trust within your relationship and keep things open. And if you can't do that, then that you're always going to have issues unless you come. I mean, you probably will still have issues if you come into contact with somebody that's the same way as you. But because there's always a friend of opposite. Not they don't even have to be a friend. It's a coworker. It's an associate. Like there's men and women everywhere. Like you can't just go somewhere and just now you got tunnel vision. You can't even look at somebody else or speak to somebody. Like I think that's just extreme. That's extreme. So, but yeah, like if I'm in a relationship and I have no problem with you having the same friends you had before we met, then I expect that you're going to be able to do the same thing for me, unless there's a reason that those things change. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever had any situations like that, Lauren, where lines were being crossed and you had to address something?
Yes. And so I think that's why it's important, when I said vibe check, because it was like someone that was around before me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. So even the people that were around before me doesn't mean like they're not all okay either.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all very interesting. I've also had situations where I had friends before our relationship and I was asked to cut them off.
Okay. Were you able to do that, or?
I did it because the relationship was important to me. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. You feel that when you are in a relationship and all relationships require compromise, like that's something you're able to compromise on. I guess it all depends on how close you are to that person, where it's just like, okay, this person really brings no value to my life. So if I have to choose,
right,
I'm going to stand with the person that I'm with. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's in that particular situation, that's absolutely what it was. Not to say that the friendship didn't mean anything to me, but in thinking about my future, the relationship was of more value than the friendship.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, since I know that we will fall away from each other eventually anyway, I might as well just lighten the blow and do it now. And there were interactions that had to be had after that point. And maybe the way that I ended the friendship wasn't the best way. And that stung a little bit. But, with time, you get over most things.
Right. Right. I think sometimes too, depending on I don't think that it really depends on age, but there was another situation. My daughter, she had a best friend that was a male, and he's pretty much like family. Like he knows my whole family. He used to live here with me, with us. Even when she left for the Navy, he was living here with me for a certain amount of time. And, when she came back from the Navy, she was married. So she got married in that time. And, when she came back, he was all excited that she was back. He even like flew out with me for her graduation and everything like that. But when she came back, he was thinking, they were just going to pick up where they left off. And he moved like an hour away. He came to hang out with us one day, with her. And he had a couple drinks and he asked, could he just stay? And so, I didn't mind. I'm like, of course you can stay. And so, and she didn't mind either. But then later she thought about it. It was just like, how would her husband have felt about that? He was away at Navy. And I asked her that too, because I think that at the time we were thinking nothing of it. It's just like, this is family, whatever. And then he did stay. But after that, I think he wanted to stay again. And she was just like, no. And I respected that, and so, because I'm like, we didn't think about it, but, her husband didn't know. She told him and he didn't say anything about it. But she said, she felt kind of weird because she think that she would have probably not liked that either. So, yeah. So, he still keeps in touch, but, they're kind of not as close as they used to be. But I don't know. So,
yeah. And again, that goes back to being respectful of your relationship and making sure that you're doing things that's not going to make your partner uncomfortable, and being mindful when you're interacting with other people.
Right.
That again, it's not just you. You got to think about your unit, and it has nothing to do with your partner not trusting you, but you want to be respectful, and you don't want them to ever think or have doubts or question anything. So you got to kind of take the initiative to figure out which lane these people belong in.
Yeah.
Prioritizing the person that you're with if you need to.
Do you think there's a difference in the way men view friendships of the opposite sex as opposed to how women view them?
I do. I feel like I've been told by males that males don't enter interactions with females to stay platonic.
But I don't think that that's true at all. And I think that that's how men do think about as far as friendships go. But then, like, you can't have it both ways is what I mean, one way. Like, if you think that you're okay, you're not one of those men that enter a friendship for something other than a friendship. And you can have a female friend, but then your partner cannot have a male friend because you think that they're in it for something else. Like, it can't go like that. Like, it's not a one-sided thing. So you have to be able to just like you want your partner, your woman, to respect or have faith, trust you, then you have to be able to do the same thing. And, you know, I have friends that are males that I don't speak to them very often, but we maintain a friendship. We've been friends for years, and we may speak once in a while to catch up. One of them, I know his wife. I used to work with his wife. I knew him first, but then I met her, and then we became cool. And we're still friends, but I speak to him more than I speak to her. And so it is possible to do that. And you know, I also had a situation like that. Like, it was okay for this person that I was with to have all the female friends and for me to accept all of these people. But the 2-3 friends that I had, he wanted me to cut them off. And I was just like, I'm not doing that.
It's a double standard.
It is. Like, I'm not.
It is a double standard.
Yeah.
I think that, so when you think about friendships with men and women, I think that how you meet the person will kind of determine whether or not it's like, I'm trying to be your friend because I want to get with you. Like, people that you grew up with, it may not be that kind of relationship. People that you work with, it may not be that kind of relationship. But if you're just meeting random Joe Schmoes, most likely they're talking to you because they're attracted to you. Right. And so as an adult, I can't ever see myself becoming friends with someone that's just random in the streets as a female. But coworkers are different. People that you grew up with are different. So when it comes to that mindset of guys only want to be your friend because they're attracted to you, it's if there are no other reasons connecting you as far as needing to be a friend. So I think that that's the difference. But not all guys that are friends with females are into that female. But again, if you're just meeting someone that's random, I don't know how y'all even exchanging information to begin with.
At the gas station.
Right.
Exactly. And that might be where the issue lies. But so that's the big thing. And as a female, when you meet people, however you meet people, the first thought isn't, oh yeah, this person's attractive. Like, women are not like that, where men may be more so. So that's the difference. Men sometimes
are
have
visual
motives. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's gonna always be like, how did y'all meet?
What about when it comes to like having things done around the house? Meeting
like friends doing it, or just
no
guys?
Someone, yeah. So okay, so I had a situation where I had my whole downstairs remodeled. The plan was for myself and my partner at that time to do these things together, like to hire somebody, pick out everything. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. So I wound up doing it myself. The person that did it clearly liked me. He gave me a better price or whatever. And, you know, he would just call me like, just like a friend and be like, oh, you know, mind you, he was married. He has the whole family. He's married. I'm not interested. First of all, he's old. I'm not interested, but you know, hey, how you doing? Whatever. And he'll tell me what days he's coming and, you know, how long he can stay, whatever. And then he will come here and, you know, I knew he likes me. I didn't care. He's here to do a job and that's it. My partner had an issue with that. And I'm sure he would have wanted me to terminate that whole contract to have somebody else do it. But I wasn't going to do that because you were supposed to be here anyway. And you fell short for that. I'm getting a good price. I'm going to have it done. And so how would you handle a situation like that?
I think that, again, it goes back to trusting the person that you're with. As females, we may get things done in the house, remodeling, take our car to the shop to get work done. Like there are plenty of things that women may need men to help out with. And if you're getting a discount because they're attracted to you, like that's a plus. Like you should be happy as a husband or partner. Like we're getting a discount.
Right.
If we had a service that we needed and a female was doing it and they want to give you a discount because they think you look good, sure. Let's come on. Anything we can say. But you have to be able to trust the person that you're with. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. But like, so we get a lot of stuff done in the house. Like we do our little DIYs and stuff like that. But after working, like we're tired. My husband is all for other people coming to help out with DIYs and things like that. And he's never uncomfortable with it being a man. The only issue that he has is safety when it comes to safety. Like he'll say, let me know when they get there or whatever. And if he is on his way home from work, he'll make sure he's not making any stops like that. And that's more of a safety thing and not insecurity because now I'm thinking you in my house sleeping with a person that's fixing a toilet. Like, yeah, you got to trust the person that you're with. Like, if you don't trust me, then again, why are you with me? And if I have work getting done and I'm getting a discount, like, feel proud. Sure, proud. Let's use that money to go to dinner. Like, what is the problem? Man, so yeah, insecurities is a big thing. Like people are insecure in their relationships, and that could create conflict. And it's just like you said, in that situation that you were in, the person you're in a relationship with dropped the ball if they were supposed to be there with you and then they wasn't there. So now you're projecting your shortcomings onto me. It's like, sure. At the end of the day, did they do a good job?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And if there's a problem with this person doing the work, as my partner, are you going to do it? If not, have several seats, sir. I'm not interested in this person.
Right.
But the work still got to get done.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah. What do you think, Lauren?
So I feel like I agree with Isha. He should have been present to make sure whatever got done needed to get done. Yeah.
So would you have fired the person if they were coming on to you, they gave you a discount, and your husband is just like, you know what, we need to find somebody else to do it? Like, what would have been your resolution? Either scheduling a person to be there when your husband is there, or finding someone, or like, how would you have?
Yeah, I feel like I probably would have scheduled, which is kind of what I do anyway, for either him to be here or my father.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And do you think that has to do more with insecurities or like safety?
I think it's a combination of both, because I can think of instances where I needed like assistance with something and maybe the person that I was with wasn't able to provide assistance and I went to my father and that was a problem too. So obviously we know I don't go with my dad. So that's like, yeah.
So it's not even insecurities with him thinking that you're going to step out in your marriage. It has more to do with like, maybe they're insecure, like you shouldn't be asking another man to do what I can do as a husband because that makes me look bad kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, but that's still projection.
It is. And so man up or
exactly.
Because I still got to drive the car.
Exactly.
Somebody got to take it to like,
Yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is having friendships of the opposite sex is definitely between the couple. There's something that you have to communicate about, be open and honest about, transparency, not letting me find out something. You didn't tell me the full story and then I have to find out, because then that's going to make an issue. But having boundaries, having trust, talking about things, just being open. And I think that way there should be no problems, and addressing your own insecurities, because just because you're insecure, like you can't put that on somebody else and expect them to now have to navigate around that. Like to some extent, you want to make your partner feel secure, but if everything that I'm doing to make you feel secure is not helping it, and your only resolution is to cut off these friends that I've had for plenty of years, then that's an issue. That's an issue. So, I
agree. And when it comes to, again, having relationships with the opposite sex, like if they call you and now you got to step away and go somewhere where you don't even want nobody to hear what y'all talking about, like why? Like why? I'm not eavesdropping, but why do you feel like you got to step away, close the doors behind you, and you're talking low? Like, what is that about?
Mm.
And that's going to be an issue, because if I did that, it would be a problem.
Yeah. Hey.
So again, being mindful of how you interact with the person is important. Like if I get a phone call, like a lot of times when I get phone calls, like I talk on speakerphone. Because if I'm doing stuff, like I'll have it on speakerphone, and it's just not like, oh, let me go take this and walk away. Like I don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do that. Anybody that I'm talking to is not anything serious, or anything that you don't need to hear. Like if it's just a friend, it's just a friend. Like if you could talk to any of your friends around me, but when it's the opposite sex, you have to go somewhere else, then it's going to be like, what is the difference? If it's a friend, you should be able to talk to that friend around me like you do any other friend you talk to.
I think that's interesting that you said that, because I'm like, I walk away when I'm on the phone with my friends, regardless to who it is,
Mm-hmm.
because there's some things that you are not to be privy to. And I have a level of confidentiality that I have to maintain with both. So yeah, just like if you do that, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
The difference is like if there's a difference in how you talk to
between your female friends versus your male friends. Yeah.
Yep. And one other thing is the whole double standards, like that like you need to nip that in the butt, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you don't want me to do it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
And
right. One would
if you don't want me to do it, check yourself.
One would hope it to be that simple.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Isha?
Yeah.
I said at the end of the day, like you have to check yourself. If it's like if you're that insecure over something that's not major, then fix it within yourself.
Right.
And don't be in a relationship with someone you don't trust. Period.
Yeah.
You can't trust me, then this not the relationship. Because I'm not doing the I'm looking through your phones, I'm eavesdropping on your conversation. Now you got to tell me where you at, and we got to FaceTime every time I'm out so you can see who I'm with. Like I'm not doing that at all. At all. I'm not the person for you if that's what you're expecting, because you're never going to be secure. When a person has to do all of those things, it's still always going to be something else that's just like,
you'll convince yourself that while you slept, I snuck somebody in.
Yeah.
It's you, it's not me. There's nothing. Yeah.
Yep. But we should put up the hotline, so if anybody needs a psychologist or a therapist, the hotline 917.
Well, Miss Moore.
Yeah.
You started with a 917 her name.
Wait a minute.
We can put both numbers. You can do it too.
I can't. We'll rotate. We're gonna open our books, everyone.
If they call me, my answer is always gonna be leave them. You don't trust you, leave them.
That's hilarious.
We ain't doing nothing else.
I can't give nobody advice, and I'm still a patient my own self.
Oh man, Digga, we still trying to counsel you. We can't accept no more patients.
This is right, Isha. This is a hard case to crack.
I'm 100% straight. I don't need no counseling.
This is a hard case to crack.
We'll open up that
hotline. That's hilarious.
Yeah. You have any closing questions or closing remarks?
Just like you said, if you have a problem with it, but you can have the friends fix yourself.
Period.
Right. Don't expect me to do something that you can't do.
Take the mirror and go like this.
Exactly. Put it close. Close. Yeah. So that is it. Any last remarks from y'all? From you, Ish?
No last remarks from me.
It's a wrap. Love you, ladies.
Love you too.